All right, so that brings us to a surprisingly on point New York Times article. This article came off. There was recently a poll that was released at the end of January showing, just horrible numbers for Biden, horrible numbers for Democrats. But something that got a lot of coverage was part of the question, part of what they teased out in the polls was a big part of the issue that voters have with Democrats now. Like, Republicans have their highest rating with voters in terms of self-identified Republicans that they've had since, I think, 1994. It's like 47% to 42% are identifying as Democrats. And one of the reasons is culture. And that's not just among white people, it's among minorities. So I'll read this from the Times, which, again, for the Times, they must have written this on topsy-turvy day, because I can't believe this came out of the Times. Minorities do not seem to like the Democrats' racialized approach any more than whites do. The political scientist Roy Texera, who has written extensively about Hispanic abandonment of Democrats, notes that 84% of non-whites support the photo ID requirements for voting that the Democrats' voting rights reforms would ban. In a hypothetical rematch of the 2020 election, a recent Wall Street Journal poll found that Mr. Biden would beat Mr. Trump among Hispanics, but only by a point, 44 to 43, not by the nearly 30-point margin he enjoyed back then. And here's where I really can't believe this is the Times. This is not the triumph for false consciousness that it might appear to disappointed activists. Democrats have been led astray by their Trump obsession. They have misunderstood what the former president represented to voting Americans. Mr. Trump tapped into smoldering grievances against various information economy elites and managers. There is no reason that ethnic minority voters wouldn't share some of those grievances. I got to look at who's the byline on this. Christopher Caldwell.
Do these fucking pieces of shit understand that, like, people like you and I, schmucks like us, have been saying this for now 7 years? 7 years we've been saying this. Look at what's happened to the world because these stupid motherfuckers thought it was a good idea to run Hillary Clinton against Donald Trump. Look at what could have been. Look at what could have been had they come to this realization 7 fucking years ago. It's your fault. If you supported Hillary in the 2016 primary, this is all your fault. And there's nothing you could do to undo it. Sorry. I know a lot of you guys. I love a lot of you guys, but Biden, it just happened to ruin the world. Don't sweat. I mean, it's okay. It's fine. It's just the world. There are millions of them out there.
If you supported Biden over Sanders in 2020, this is your fault also, because this is the consequence. You elected a man with no base. You didn't even like him. If you voted for him, chances are you didn't like him yourself. So blaming all this on the left, no, the fault lies not in the left, but in yourself.
What did that dipshit say?
You elect a guy that nobody likes. What did you think was going to happen when the going got tough?
Turns out there's a lot of working class angst against the information age. What the fuck was it? Like what was his realization that he came to 7 years too late?
Yeah, just
unbelievable.
The information managers at elites.
Yeah. The working class doesn't like the information managers too much.
Who knew?
Seems
who knew?
7 years of evidence. After 7 years of observing politics in this country, I've come to the realization that the Trump phenomenon was largely a result of working class people not liking information managers.
Some people just aren't quick.
Yeah. Well, they were tied up in the Putin narrative for 4 of those years, right? I mean, so it was Putin's fault.
They were deeply. Right. They were too busy burying their noses in the Mueller report.
Yeah, just extraordinary.
I just realized when you said 7 years, I was thinking like, oh, Keaton.
2015. Well, 2015.
Keaton overshot, and then I did the math. I was like, holy shit, he's right. We've been at this for 7 fucking years trying to say this shit, and now it's like all these chickens are coming home to roost. We've been saying for 7 years the woke thing was going to destroy the Democratic Party. I've been arguing with all of the culture warriors for years. Listen, man, you guys are costing us voters. Every time you tweet, we lose 10,000 people to the Republicans. Shut the fuck up. And now here we are. here we are. Like what more? And the sad thing is they're still not going to shut the fuck up. So this is, I was going to say this in the first segment, but this is what I would say now. With what Trudeau is doing, which, make no mistake, they're taking notes down here in the States.
Oh yeah.
The liberal elite is going to continue to have control of our cultural institutions. They're going to continue to have control of the media. They're going to continue to have control of big tech. They're going to continue to have control of academia. At this point, to protect what's left of our civil liberties, you kind of have to give power back to the Republicans, because if the liberals have government on top of that control, get ready to get debanked. That's
Sounds like the most depressing
nobody's
thing
bank
you've ever
account
said.
is going to be safe. You're going to need the Republicans, not because they're good, but because if you don't have somebody who's against that holding some kind of power among the various power bases in society, that is going to spread here. The Republicans will, at least for the time being, they'll be a bulwark against moves, these increasing moves towards censoring the internet and censoring people in that way.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe wherever you saw it, on YouTube, on Rumble, or on Facebook. We have channels on all three of those platforms. Also, consider helping us create more content by becoming a member at patreon.com/do-dissidents, or on Facebook, where you can become a supporter right through our Facebook page and get bonus content every week, as well as call-in access to our live stream shows. Thank you very much for your continued support.